Ready, Freddy's. Okay. Hi, everybody. We are here to talk about goal setting in 2024 and how to be successful in real estate in this changing market. So, super excited. And my co-stars over here, Maria and Josh, I've learned a lot from them as well. So excited for that. We're
Yeah,
back.
the
We're
feeling
back.
the feeling is mutual. And let me first give a shout out to Michigan football for that big win over Ohio State. Shameless plug. Talking about goal setting here. You guys know how much I love Michigan. Anyway, let's move on.
I was gonna say now, I'm gonna back you up on that because I'm the Georgia fan. So
Yeah.
I
So
don't watch football.
what a fun time of year. I mean, this is an opportunity for anybody. It doesn't have to be a real estate agent, can be in any career, any business, but we're focused on the real estate side a little bit more. But what an incredible opportunity for agents to run their business in an organized fashion and thinking forward and structuring, what they want to accomplish over the next, 1 year, 5 years. So who wants to kick it off today? I mean, I've got some really good strategies that I've been working on. I guess speaking of goals, another excitement we've had around here, because I've been working really hard to have all of my business and planning and goals done before December 1st, and I've officially accomplished that. So I'm super pumped ready to chat about it. But
I think that's awesome. My goal is always to have it done by January 1st, but you just elevated it. Thank you, Josh.
yeah. Let's keep elevating it, because as we all know, all the business activities and the life activities we are into 2024 for the most part at this point. So we got an opportunity to get ahead of the game.
There you go. Perfect. So, and last week we had talked about business planning and that being the big picture. And then now we're bringing it into the goal setting as far as how we're going to reach those goals and what goals and how to get there. So,
Right.
Josh, you I think sound more ahead of me. So if you want to,
he's a month ahead of me.
yeah, me too.
Well, again, I haven't always been there, but this was a big goal of mine. There's a lot of moving parts in my business, and I wanted my agents to be ready to rock and roll. We've got their accountability pieces done. I've got the budget done. I've got the marketing plan done, and we are ready to take off in 2024. I think that what we need to understand first and foremost when we're talking about goal setting is, the goal piece of this is the primary outcome, right? It's the primary outcome. It's the big picture idea, but there has to be a strategy behind everything.
That's right.
Right. And I just go back to, we as real estate professionals are really good at having ideas, but it's all about the execution.
Amen.
Okay. 100%. So in order to be able to execute something, you have to pick goals that you are passionate about, in my opinion, right? You've got to be able to buy into it. And I also think in order to start with your business goals, you have to have already done your life goals. I mean, do you guys believe in that?
Yeah. Amen. Yes.
I just feel like
personal, absolutely.
Your personal goals. I mean, your business goals are not going to be healthy accomplishments unless you've got your life in alignment, right?
Amen.
So
that's right.
I would challenge everybody to get real specific about, what's your 3-year big life goals? And that can be anything. And that's got to drive you to what you want to accomplish on a daily basis. That could be a lake house for your family. That could be a consistent vacation schedule. That can be your finishing your children's college education funds. But we've got to look at those long-term life goals. And then we've got to look at how
you're right, Josh, because that also helps you to figure out your why. And sometimes it's hard on a day-to-day basis when you feel frustrated. But if you can think about, well, wait a second, my college, get my children's college paid for, so get me up and get me going. I love it.
I couldn't agree with you more. And I think that's why you've got to go back into, do I really believe in this? Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Is it in alignment with my life mission? And, so you've got the 3-year big racks out there, and then we've got to condense that into what I do is 1 year, and then we back that down to 30 days, and then we back that down to weekly, and then we back that down to daily. Okay.
Yep, amen. I do the same thing.
So, focus on your life goals, and then we move into our business goals. And I think the other critical thing about this is goals are never ending. Goals are never ending. And I think that far too often we talk about this, and I've said this a number of times on this show, is we put a lot of effort into it, and then we shove it in a drawer somewhere, and then we kick ourselves the next fall because we didn't do a good enough job holding ourselves accountable, right?
Yeah.
So goals have to be never ending. When you're setting this in place, you've got to understand that you're going to keep this in front of you. You're going to revisit these goals, and you're going to continue to make adjustments.
Yeah.
So once we've got our life goals, once we've got our business goals, we've got our long-term goals of 3-year goals, our big rocks. Those are going to be in alignment with our short-term goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And furthermore, when we're looking at, now I'm going to shift to the business side. When we're looking at our business goals, and we're breaking that down every 30 days. Every 30 days is going to get us to that 1-year goal.
That's right.
And our 1-year goal is always going to be in alignment with our 3-year goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is in alignment. But the key is, we get to halftime, and I'm a big football guy. So like I said, we make halftime adjustments. So in business, going back to goal setting is continuous. We're establishing new goals every 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're getting to the halfway point through the year. We're analyzing what worked, what didn't work. What do we need to change to hit our 1-year goal? What do we need to change to hit our 3-year goal? So it's really critical. The goal setting never stops piece. And that's where the magic is at. And I just think that is a critical piece. You've got to set things in place. You've got to have accountability partners. And you have to keep this front and center at all times. And I guess the last thing I'll say, because I've taken enough time.
I love it. I'm taking notes, Josh.
Well, I mean, this is all about the 3 of us, and you guys also have great ideas. But I think after you've established your goals, there's a certain way to visualize you accomplishing those goals. And I'm a big visual guy. I'm picturing the vacation house. I'm picturing the family. I'm picturing my family. I'm picturing the college. I'm picturing all these things. And a lot of people do that different ways. I mean, people do dream boards, people do vision boards, but you have to believe in it. You have to buy into it. You have to, once you write it down, you've got to continue to visualize you making that part of your journey. And that just takes work. That takes work every single day. So how about you guys? What are you ladies doing for goal setting with some consistency?
Well, so, I love everything you said. Like I said, I'm taking notes on it, but with me too, I go back to the business planning, and then I figure out for my team, what are the 4 pillars of their business? And everybody has different, because everybody, and we had talked about it last week, everybody has different strengths and weaknesses. And that's what your SWOT analysis was to determining what are your strengths and weaknesses. And do you want to build up your weaknesses, or do you just want to say, these are my strengths and I'm going to make those even better and make those part of, but then I think once you come up with those 4 columns, then I think that's where you get into the goal setting too, right? Because then you can start saying, okay, one of my columns is open houses. What does that mean? Let's break it down into, and then that goes back into, okay, I'm going to do open houses. I'm going to make phone calls, whatever your pillars are, what you're going to do. And then how does that fit into your goal, right? Because then you come back to say, okay, my goal is to make $1 million this year. These are my 4 pillars of business. This is how I'm going to do it. Now, how am I going to implement it into the goals? Is that accurate?
Yeah. Well, 100%. And I think a part of this is, everybody's got different opinions on big audacious stretch goals versus realistic goals. I'm more
Right.
in the realistic camp
too.
of what is achievable. How
Yeah,
am I
me
going to
too.
push
Like the
myself? How am I going
SMART
to push?
goals.
Yeah, how are you going to push yourself to the max and stretch yourself, but make it also achievable?
Yeah,
Uh,
I think that's really good too. And one of the things I like to do when we're setting goals is to go ahead, because I call it the drunk monkey, which is a term that that Matthew Ferry came up, not Matthew Ferry, Mike Ferry's son, but it's not Tom Ferry. I think it is Matthew Ferry.
I think
But
it is
anyway,
Matthew. Yeah.
he came up with that part of your brain that gives you all the negative reasons why you're not going to reach the goal, that keeps you at home in bed instead of doing the things you need to do. So I like to think about what the goal is, how you're going to get there, what are going to be your excuses not to get there, and ways that you're going to overcome those excuses. Because when you're thinking about goals, it's easy to say, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. But then at that point to say, okay, let's be realistic. What is going to be my reason for not doing it? And let me go ahead and come up with explanation as to how I'm going to overcome my own objection.
Right. Right.
What do you think, Maria? I'm sorry, Josh, or whoever.
No, go ahead, Maria.
Okay, I'll tell you guys what I.
Oh,
Maria, what happened to Maria? Okay, Josh, it's just me and you. I don't know. I think it happened to her last time too.
well, I think you made some really good points. And one of the notes I had was assess your possible risks and obstacles in every goal that you are trying to identify, right? And I think that you
So say
also
that again, your possible risks and
assess your possible risk and obstacles in achieving your goals to remain aware and realistic of how you're going to accomplish this. I mean, I'll tell you one thing that I heard that has always stuck with me for my entire career. Well, I heard this 4 or 5 years ago. The number one trait of high performing individuals is total self-awareness. Self-awareness of reality. So the issue that a lot of us have is we set goals and we don't understand the risks and obstacles that are going to be in front of us. And we can accomplish that. We can overcome those risks, but we need to be aware of what those obstacles are. And it can be little things like we just got through with this. We had 30 days of goals set in place for the month of November, but we've got a big holiday weekend. We've got Thanksgiving. So are you taking into account these life events? Are you taking into account vacation time? Are you taking into account, different times of the year that are going to be risks and obstacles? Are you being aware of that? And how are you going to move forward? Because the quicker you can be aware of reality in this business, the more that you can conquer the obstacles and move forward. I just am a huge believer in that.
I love that. I had never heard your quote, but 100% I agree with it.
Right. So we've lost Maria, and
I'm gonna text her and see. You keep talking.
Okay, I'll keep chatting. I'll keep telling you that I think that this, if agents can make this a part of their business and going back to the discipline of being consistent with revisiting it and how often you are going to revisit it. Are you going to change things? Are you going to tweak things? It's okay to tweak some of those short-term goals if they are in alignment with getting you to your 1-year goal, your big 3-year goal. But what you cannot do is spend the time and energy to put goals in place and then not revisit it. You will get
smart.
you'll get to I see it all the time. You'll get to the end of the year, and I see people do this, and you get to the end of the year and people actually forgot what their goals were, right?
Yeah, that's right. Which is crazy because it all comes down to your big why.
Right. But I'm not perfect by any means, and this has been all trial and error for me, and I've been working to try and get better and better, but these are all things we've all learned along the way. These are all mistakes we've made, and we're all trying to run in a more efficient business, a more effective business right now. So it all goes back to the awareness of how we do that with consistency and having a plan in place And everything we've outlined, is essentially that goal setting plan and how you're going to accomplish that.
And I love that. And I read the 12 Weeks to Success. I don't know if you've ever read that book, which does break down, it goes into goal setting and your year goals, but it says you should break it down into quarterly goals. But I reassessed this year and we've done monthly. We've done the yearly, quarterly, monthly, but I meet with each team member once a month now to say, where are you within your goals? Are you meeting them? What can I do to help? What's going on?
Right. Well, 30-day increments are critical. I think 30-day increments are critical. And then to work backwards from that on a weekly and daily basis. And some of the other things we see is, when agents are not on track to hitting their goals, they start thinking too long term. Yeah. They get 6 months down into the year. They're like, gosh, I'm so behind. I don't know what to do. I'm feeling behind.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's where it's even more critical to work in smaller increments, to put your head down, to work in 30 days, to work in 1 week, to work in 1 day. And you will come out of that with, some great rewards if you just work in smaller increments, not slower increments, smaller increments.
That's exactly right. I love it. I love it. And we do our team meetings weekly and we talk about goals and where we are, but only have an hour and there's a lot of them, the team. So we don't go into it as much weekly, but I love that the one-on-one monthly.
Yeah. That's been a game changer. It's just been a game changer for us. Our team members love it. We're all open with each other about it. There's different thoughts on this, whether you want to keep things personal, and it's okay to keep some of your goals personal, private. But if you want help, if you want accountability partners, if you want to be challenged, I think it's phenomenal to work through this as a group so people understand what you are trying to accomplish in life, and they can help you, you can help them, and you can continue to discuss it in a healthy way. There's no negative energy like, hey, harping on people. You're trying to go back to the awareness fact of, hey, you set these goals in place. This is what you wanted to do for yourself. Right. Now, it's going to take some work. Unfortunately, it looks like we got to do a little bit better to get there, but let's continue to be aware of that.
So then do you do that as a team meeting with everybody in front of each other, your monthly, or do you do that one? I've been trying to do one-on-one. It's a little bit hard one-on-one because it takes a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, what works for us is we do as a team. We do it as a team. It's our first Tuesday of every month. It's our accountability meeting. We set the stage for the entire month.
Love it.
And all of these business goals, again, are in align with annual goals. And it goes back to what type of business people are working in. Are we working in the social media? Are we consistent with our social media posts? Are we consistent with our video posts? Are we consistent with our VIP top 50 follow-up? Are we consistent with our farming, our calling FISBOs, whatever it might be? Mm-hmm. Are we consistent with that? And what goals are we setting on a monthly basis that are going to challenge us? And then we review those, we review them throughout the month. I mean, we're literally talking about these goals, these accountability pieces. In fact, I've got my team monthly goals right in front of me at all times.
Oh, I love it.
I type it out. I send it to the team. I say, these are your commitments for the month. Now we're going to talk about it weekly, daily. How are you doing to accomplish those goals? And we revisit every the first Tuesday of every month, we revisit, say, November commitments. Did you accomplish your November commitments? Progress, not perfection. It's okay not to be perfect, but we do try to be pretty black and white. Yeah. So we analyze what we accomplished in November. Let's keep getting better. Let's set some December pieces in place and let's go out and execute.
So then at your meetings, you say, what have we done correctly? What are we going to adjust? And then what are your December, or you've already established that, I guess, what each month goal is?
Well, so every month is a little bit different. Right. Okay. But it's all
holidays and
well, no, I'm just going to say like there might be different prospecting techniques, right? There might be different, depending on the time of year. We're doing holiday follow-ups this time of year, market analysis coming up in January. So every month is a little bit different, but the prospecting pieces are going to be consistent every single month. And that's really the key. I mean, that's what works for us well.
Yeah,
Right.
I love it. You're right. But consistency is the key. I mean, it's the key in everything.
Right. But the key is to always go back and revisit your big rocks, your big goals. We are required as a team. We do this together as a team every 30 days. Hey, Abby's on my team. Hey, Abby, how are you doing? Like, are you in alignment with some of these big goals that you have for 3 years? You want to, buy this investment property. Are you in alignment? Are you doing the activities to get you there? And we're just open and honest about that. The more you can talk about it, the better. And I think that's really where the magic is at.
I love it. I'm adopting it. Thank you. I was doing it 101, and it's really labor intensive. And then agents also felt like they couldn't really. I mean, I'm very close with all the agents, and they're very open and honest. But it almost was like they were embarrassed to be real. I think I like the idea of having it as a team.
I mean, everybody's a little bit different. That works really well for us. And I will say for team leaders, I do think it's important for us to all have, year-end review meetings, private meetings with our agents, some one-on-ones, revisit, hey, what happened in 2023? What changes are we making? What are we looking to accomplish for 2024? A lot of critiquing going on. So I think the one-on-one time is important. I don't feel the need to do that individually on a monthly basis.
Yeah, I love
it. Some can. So, but I think we got a lot out there today, just hopefully to give some people some different ideas.
That's right.
And that's what it's all about. The magic is in the discipline. The magic is in the consistency. And especially in this market, you've got to outwork everybody. That is the name. Right. That's the name of the game. You and I both been doing this for a long time, and there's no magic pill right now. It's hard work. It's consistency. It's planning. It's doing the basics at a high level, and we'll all be rewarded if we do that.
So tell me one of your goals for 2024, business goals. I'm going to be your accountability partner, Josh. Come on.
So one of my business goals for 2024 is we have a subscriber count on YouTube that we are trying to actively hit. Okay. I've been working on YouTube for about a year, and it was a slow start. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers.
Okay. I love it.
1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I know we can do that with consistency, keep creating content, and YouTube's just going to be a rolling number of increased viewers. And that's what we're focused on, is content creation. So how do I get to 1,000 subscribers? Obviously, we just talked about that. We got to work backwards. How many videos are we pushing? What are we doing from an SEO perspective? All these different avenues of getting to that subscriber account to get more eyeballs on our content creation.
I love it.
How about you?
So I haven't set my goals for 2024 yet. I'm teasing.
Okay.
My goal is business-wise, mine is more monetary, I think. But last year we did 87 million. This year we're going to do about 72 million. So we've gone down a little bit. My goal is next year to get us to 100 million. And I would like to do that by getting 5 to 6 more agents on the team and really work on the growth of the team and the development. Right now, the team is fabulous. Everybody on my team is very high producers. We have 8 agents, and they are really and truly amazing. But it also kind of everybody kind of gets complacent because we are like a family. Like, we do everything together. I don't mean like everything together, but we go out to eat together. We have drinks together. We go to the movies together. Next Wednesday night, we're taking a Spanish cooking class together. So we're very close, but I think we need some more people in here and some fresh blood, and to get new ideas and to reach those goals. So.
All right. So just to recap, what did you say? 5 to 7? That was a little gray for me.
Okay, I'm gonna go with 7 agents. I'll go with big.
7 agents.
100 million.
7 new agents, 100 million. And
then the other thing, I did just hire a videographer we had talked about earlier. That's going to come in 2 to 3 times a month. And I'm working on YouTube. So I do a little bit on YouTube. I have 60 followers, so not very many. 1,000 seems like a lot, but just to start working on YouTube and developing that content about Wilmington, North Carolina.
Right. Those are great goals. And it's just,
Yeah.
again, everything you said is all about commitment, consistency with the recruiting. I mean, that you break that down to how you're attacking that, how many agents you're communicating with, what's your value proposition? Am I setting a couple coffee appointments a week? I mean, these are all very specific opportunities for you to reach your long-term goal. So I'll hold you accountable.
I appreciate that, Josh. I will hold you accountable as well. So yeah.
All right.
So, thank you. And we will be back next week.
Okay.
On Thursday.
All right. Have a great week, all. We'll
Awesome.
chat with you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Bye, Josh.
Bye-bye.